Tracy, I was on her team thing, and we talked about reading. And right now, the highest female earner in Power Network, I think last month you were over 17. I've seen her do this multiple times where she's learned something new, and immediately her team guys, they were on calls every day when a merchant account shut and Power Network down.
She wasn't making any money because it was crazy, but when I had a separate merchant account at that, I couldn't make any money. So I disabled, or I took away my merchant account and just rolled with whatever we had, which at that time was nothing. And we all pretty much suffered through that period of time. And I don't know if a lot of people understand that, but if my team wasn't making any money, I wasn't making any money either. And I was okay with that. So I was, in complete integrity with, don't worry about it, just blog every day, because that's what I was doing. It wasn't like I was making money and telling them to blog every day while I'm out at the beach. No, network marketing, and then into the attraction marketing phase. And, it's a little different here in Empower. And I know that we still was the model. The model was to attract all these different people from different businesses, offer a way to help them get more leads, get more signups, and make more money in that business. I feel great being able to say, well, you know what, I'm really not pressed about helping you in XYZ company. However, you are more than welcome to join me where I am. It seemed to work okay, except the problem was I was more like Aaron. I was more of the producer person. And I did what Aaron avoided doing, all chasing its own tail. If you don't have any training, people are saying, what do I do? If you have too much information, they're saying it's too much information. And either way, you're stagnant. The beauty specifically, but for me, if I'm sought out by any of the other leaders, team members, and they say, well, hey, listen, I'm on Lawrence Tam's team, and I direct people all the time to the exact same things all the time, even to the point where I had a guy email me and say, listen, what's the best way for me to make money? And don't tell me to do the 8 core commitments. And I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, well, I think your best option is to quit. And I told him that. I said, I think you should quit. He goes, well, why would you say that? I said, because, and so I'm just super excited that, number one, that consistency plays in our favor. It plays in our favor because really another company where people really believe they're going to miss something, or they really believe they're going to lose something. So they never buy to the highest level, ever, never. I mean, it's literally essentially is what we're doing. And I'm okay with that, because as a mother eagle does her young, I think I said it in a Facebook post, how does she teach them how to fly? Well, and that's so indicative to me here at Empower Network, because people are literally changing their minds. They're changing their mindsets. It is about money here because we're a for-profit business. Empower is that mother eagle that's swooping in and picking people up and allowing them to realize that they do have these wings and that they can fly. Is just whatever you say, do, Dave, I pretty much just do it. And I don't think people question that I'm doing it, because we hold ourselves accountable. A lucky gamble, there's a specific thing that we have to do. So that one thing, the stickiness, is the accountability. People can actually see the integrity of, we read a lot in our team. And, I don't stipulate what people read. And I'm not saying, no, you have to read this book at this time. But, when Vic, and the final thing that I would say that has helped work in what I'm doing specifically is I want people to understand this. I'm not, and the reason I can play that game with them in the income category is because I understand what my strengths are, and I understand what my weaknesses are, and I don't try to be to catch on that they don't have to be just like somebody else. They just kind of need to follow the actions that that person is doing. You can follow someone's actions with, I am so focused on the group at this point in time that I lose track at times of what I'm doing personally. And that's a weird thing to say, because people get to $10,000, their first $10,000, and then get them to $50,000, then get them to 100, then get it to where they're doing that every single month. Maybe it's, I don't remember who said that, but it's essentially the same. Or I think Aaron said it, because I took a lot of notes from what Aaron was talking about, that essentially you have to be able to plug in and plug up through the ground. You go away, you come back, oh my goodness, I need to mow the lawn. Same thing with your kids. You look up one day, your kids are big and tall, and you can't, you don't remember seeing, whether that is $10,000 a month, whether that is a new car, whether that is a new house. And for all extensive purposes, I'm talking about as you have to, if you say I want $10,000 in a month or $5,000 in a month, or I want to be able to sign up 2 people a day, or whatever that is, you have got to think about that thing. You got to focus on that thing. You have got to literally envision that clear signal, a clear sound of that station. So that focus being number 2 is extremely important. And then the last most important thing is you have to remain consistent, and you're creating a new habit. You're going from a broke action habit to a wealthy action habit. And you're going to have to do the wealthy action habits enough until they become second nature. Challenging to get your content out every day, or you might find it challenging or a time barrier for you to get your emails done twice a day, or to think of some content to share with your list twice a day. This unfocused energy with no inspired action over 8, 9, 10 hours a day, that's busy work. And so you want to remain consistent. So decide what you want, focus on that thing almost obsessively, and then be consistent, focused. You're not all over the place. Like Aaron said, you're not sending one message about ClickBank something, and one message about Empower, and one message about your network marketing company and all this stuff every 5 minutes. You're remaining concerted with Empower Network. I literally was at a point where I was about to give up on the industry. And the reason was because I had done pretty good, but a person could work in this business for 2 to 3 hours a day and make a significant income. I just did not believe it. And so I was having to create products all the time. I was having to make sure, I have affiliates for different things. And it was beginning to burn me out to a point where I was just sick and tired of it. And I had to find something else, and jumped in, essentially not knowing what was happening, not having a lead capture page, not having a blog, not having a merchant account, not having any of that stuff set up. I jumped in believing, number one, and that could bridge a gap. And because of that, I put my money where my mouth was, and I just went forward. I went forward against all odds. I went forward with no merchant account. I went forward with the blog not working. You might not have an external thing like an Empower. Empower no longer has any of these challenges. You may be facing your own internal challenges. Nonetheless, it's the exact same thing. Just keep plowing forward to be able to, through osmosis, get the information and the knowledge from these leaders, unless you're in their presence and you're just listening and they're speaking on stage and you're feeling their vibe and their energy. I just don't see any other way for you to. The formula I could give you would be get your tail to the event and get your team with you, because the more people you have back at home already with the conviction, because they witnessed it themselves, the easier your path is going to be, because you're no longer fighting that battle by yourself. You've got a team of people doing it. So Dave, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I guess, I don't know, Sharp or Wood or whoever, whichever you guys are going to take over from here. But that would be my insight on that part so far.